Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about some of the new Penrose EQ presets for Audeze HQ. So we've released a pack of presets, one of which emulates the old Mobius presets, and one of which is some music presets that have been created in-house here at Audeze. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to load up Audeze HQ. If your app isn't updated to the newest one, check the description box link below, and I'll link to the new app. Make sure it's all the way updated. If you have 5 presets here, your app should be all the way updated. If you only have 2, definitely go and get the update. You'll want it for this one. You'll also want to make sure that your Penrose is updated. On the firmware tab, it should show you if it needs to update or not. So after those things are all taken care of, you can see we've got our 5 presets here. We're going to click load, and it should open to the file that I've set here. You see I've got a variety of different presets. So in the Mobius ones, we can see we've got the Mobius presets, ballistics, footsteps, racing, RPG, etc. These are recreations of the original Mobius presets. Now we also have a new pack of presets, which is called the Music Pack. These have been tuned in-house at Audeze by several of our staff members who are music enthusiasts and like using Penrose for music. So let's take a quick look at some of those. Chris Barron's created the Round and Muscular and Gently Warm. Let's take a look at Round and Muscular real quick. So this is a very, very simple, gentle upper mid dip, just to make things a little bit warmer, take a little bit off the high end, make things a little silkier and rounder. You can also see we've got an EDM and classical acoustic space preset. Let's take a look at those. So the EDM one has a slight dip in the mid-range. A lot of times EDM music has a ton of layering, and this can help relieve some of that sense of congestion, make things a little more separated. A little upper mid boost just to help things pop out, to have synths be real in your face and up front. Up here at the very top, we've taken a little out of 8K so that nothing's ear-piercing, because sometimes EDM mixes can be a bit bright. And then we've left the sub bass quite high, so you get a real sense of that pounding, low bass that a lot of EDM music has. By contrast, we have the classical and acoustic space preset. This one has a slight upper mid bass boost, which helps to emphasize the fundamental frequencies of timpani drums and other bass instruments in classical, which don't have as much really low bass. We've got a slight mid dip here, just to leave, again, some space, because there's a lot of density going on in the mid-range in classical music. A little bit of a 1 kHz boost, just to give some clarity to things. And then this upper mid depression will actually make things sound more spacious. Combined with the high frequency shelf, this will make the room cues kind of stand out. You'll hear all that sparkly, airy, cool high frequency stuff without too much of the in-your-face upper mid-range. So this is going to give things like bluegrass, jazz, and classical more of a sense of space and more of that room cue sort of purist sound that you want to hear. Make things a little more distant, a little more atmospheric. So those are some of the music presets. Let's take a look at some of the Mobius presets. G. So I think the most interesting, that. Now, for example, now you can see we've got sort of a general lower mid dip and a slight high cut, a little bit of an upper mid boost, and a low frequency shelf. So the low frequency shelf is so that we can hear the really, really low octave rumbly stuff. Dragons crashing around, big fireballs exploding. It's going to add a sense of rumble and epicness to the experience. This is a slight boost at 1K, fundamental dialogue frequency. That's going to give us additional clarity in speech. Up here, you can see slight upper mid depression, again, just to make space for the dialogue. Here's where a lot of those sword clanging, metal scraping, picking up potions, clinking bottle sounds are going to live. And we want those, but we don't want too much of them, again, compared to that dialogue. At 8 kHz, that's where a lot of frequencies that are kind of a little bit more ear-piercing and very high in the treble live. This is a great frequency if you want to hear footsteps or little spatial cues in first-person shooter games, but we don't want too much of it. We want that sense of space. Again, this is functioning a little bit like the classical and acoustic space preset, where we've created a sense of distance, and we can pick out a little bit more of the resolution in those acoustic spaces. So if we're outside, or we're in a giant cathedral, or we're in a tavern, we can hear the space, and there's a sense of immersion that comes along with that. So that's what we've done. We've taken out a little bit of the real piercing frequencies, and we have a little bit more of this 16K and these 2 to 4K. And those are going to give us a little bit more distant, a little more spacious we want if we're going to be really immersed in an RPG. It's outside the scope of this video, but in a future video, I'll be talking about what these different frequency ranges sound like and how they correspond to the different audio cues in the games and music that we listen to. I'll also talk about how to become a master at using the 10-band EQ in Audeze HQ so you can make your Penrose totally customized for your own audio gaming experience. Now, I'll drop links in the description box below, both to Audeze HQ, as I mentioned before, and also to the Penrose presets that we have on our website. Definitely download them, check them out. They're quite cool, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun with them. If you do like them, and if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and drop us a comment on the video. I do read all the comments, and I'll try my best to answer any questions you guys might have, but if you have specific technical questions or issues, definitely reach out to support@audeze.com, or check out our support resources for Penrose on our Zendesk support website. I'll also link that in the description box below. That's all for now, and I hope you guys have a ton of fun EQing your Penrose.